So, lads, the Angel Reese situation is not getting better. It is not getting better at all. And if you guys don't know, obviously, Angel Reese was suspended for a half a game in what might have been the biggest joke in all of team sports, that Angel Reese got suspended for half a game. And like, it was at the stage where even other players were saying it's like, just suspend her for a game. At this stage, like, if you're gonna suspend her for the full game. Don't suspend her for half a game. And clearly, not only was she just suspended for half of the game, but yeah, she didn't play. As expected, she didn't play. Like, all, like, her fans on Twitter were like, "Oh, Angel, just say your back hurts in the warm-up. Just say your back hurts in the warm-up." And all of a sudden, like, she's been back for however long.
Angel Reese just delivered the biggest reality show style twist of the season, walking away from the Chicago Sky in a move that feels less like an injury and more like a stage performance. Instead of basketball, it's playing out like a full-blown soap opera, where one moment she's the face of the team and the next she's claiming back pain like a student dodging gym class. The real shocker is that this isn't only about missing a game. It's rebellion, drama, and chaos all colliding at once.
She's got suspended for the first half of a game, saying her teammates suck. This guy made a statement saying, the Chicago Sky values the safety, respect, and well-being of every player. We are committed to accountability so our players can stay focused on playing basketball. Because of the statements detrimental to the team made by Angel Reese during the league-mandated media, she will not play in the first half of the game September 7th against the Las Vegas Aces. This matter has been handled and resolved internally, and we're moving forward.
Another WNBA season has arrived, and right on cue comes the latest chapter of the Angel Reese drama saga. While some players lock in on scoring points and others work on building real chemistry with their teammates, Angel Reese seems more focused on turning every game into a reality TV audition that nobody asked for. Yet somehow, everyone still ends up watching.
Doesn't touch the floor. Doesn't play in the first half. Doesn't play in the second half. Oh, this is interesting. Did Tyler Marsh just say, you know what? Angel, I like the group that we have in right now. We don't need you. We're playing well. I don't know. Does Angel Reese throw a hissy fit in the locker room, says, no, I'm not playing? Kinda did that. Maybe not that exact, but she went about not playing. Yep, instead of coming to help her teammates, she would rather stick it to the Chicago Sky or
forget the numbers and highlight reels. Angel Reese's most telling stat this season is episodes of rebellion per month. Her latest masterpiece came when she walked out on the Chicago Sky with a back injury so over the top it could use a Hollywood agent. But this isn't just a random setback. It feels like a carefully scripted saga. The drama was already brewing after the Sky suspended her for the first half of the game, and that alone was headline-worthy before the theatrics even began.
Out of here, y'all. This is crazy. This is why this thing took a left turn out of nowhere. I have not, bro. This is supposed to be a professional league. Angel Reese, you telling me you refuse to go in the game for the Chicago Sky because they suspended you for one half? This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. Wait till you get alone.
The crowd was buzzing with anticipation, expecting Angel Reese to make a dramatic second-half entrance like the hero of a sports movie swooping in to rescue her team. Fans leaned forward, waiting for that big moment. But the twist came when she never even stepped on the floor. 0 minutes. Nothing. She might as well have traded her jersey for a hoodie in the stands, and no one would have noticed the difference.
So the Chicago Sky situation is not ending, and I don't think it's going to end for a while. Like, this is some Dwight Mayer type stuff, but instead of Dwight Mayer saying it's you or me about the coach, Dwight Mayer said it's you or me about the literal entire team, except for the other player that was in her draft class that clearly doesn't fit playing beside her. That clearly does not.
What made it even funnier was that, at first, people actually thought it was just a tactical decision. Maybe the coach liked the lineup on the floor. Maybe he was trying to send a message. Maybe he was playing 4D chess while everyone else was stuck on checkers. But then the truth came out. Angel wasn't benched. She wasn't resting. She was quitting. Quitting the game, quitting the grind, all under the convenient excuse of a back injury. The timing made it even more ridiculous, since this supposed pain appeared after a 5-day break. Not 5 games, not 5 weeks, 5 days. It's like taking a week off work and showing up Monday morning claiming your spine collapsed under the weight of all that relaxation. And of course, the props had to make an appearance. Enter the back brace, not discreetly worn under a shirt where it might serve an actual purpose, but strapped boldly over her warm-up sweatshirt, as if to shout at the cameras, "Look at me, I'm injured." Subtlety was buried right there, like walking into class with a sling over your winter coat to sell a broken wrist.
Reese was suspended for the first half of today's game versus the Las Vegas Aces. She told them, "I don't care if y'all suspend me, I ain't playing anyway. My back hurt." Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy work, Angel. That's crazy work, Angel. I cannot believe she just pulled the wool over their eyes like this. They thought that they was punishing her, and the whole time she knew, y'all can't punish me. I'ma say my back hurt. I'm not gonna play anyway. This season is over. This is crazy. We already saw her throw her teammates under the bus. Tyler Marsh was blind.
Nothing screams authentic injury, like flaunting a medical accessory that doesn't even touch the part it's meant to support. But the genius of Angel Reese's move is that it wasn't just for her team, it was for the audience. This was pure theater, and she was the star actress. She made sure the brace was visible, ensured social media would devour it, and guaranteed her storyline would spread faster than the box score. You could almost hear the inner dialogue. If I'm going to fake this rebellion, I'm going all in. Full costume, full production, standing ovation. In the end, Reese staged her own protest, with the back brace as her prop of choice. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky didn't come out looking much better. Yes, they suspended her, but when the media went after Reese for calling out the front office, the team stayed silent and let the fire burn.
Suspended for a game because she picked up her 8th technical foul. So, and I think that's tonight. That was tonight, right? She was suspended tonight, and now she's suspended the first half against the Aces on the 7th to be Monday, correct?
Dang.
Yeah. Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. My bad. Sunday. Look. Angel expressed her dissatisfaction with the state of the franchise, is what she said. "I like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move in a different direction and do what's best for me. But while I'm here, I'm going to try to stay open-minded about what I have here and maximize."
They let her sink in public opinion before, never once covering for her. And now we're suddenly supposed to believe they're protecting her with this back injury excuse? That logic makes about as much sense as running a marathon in flip-flops. If they didn't have her back when things got ugly, why would they start now? The truth is, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky look like a bad breakup that refuses to end. She doesn't want them, they don't want her, but the contract keeps them tethered together. It's like watching a couple argue at a dinner party, smiling through clenched teeth while everyone knows the divorce papers are already in the glove compartment. Meanwhile, the Sky were down bad, so bad it felt like they deserved participation ribbons instead of a scoreboard. Reese sat on the sidelines with her brace and her pride intact, while her teammates got embarrassed on the floor. And instead of stepping up to ease the pain, she just sat back, almost daring the moment with a silent, "Let them drown without me." Rebelling against management is one thing, but abandoning your teammates mid-battle while they're getting cooked is another level entirely.
Suspension. And I mean this when I say this. Why a half a game? Like, Courtney Williams responded to him. Like, she did the exact same. She's like, just suspend her for a game. Just suspend her for a game. Don't suspend her for half a game. Half a game makes no sense. She got to be on the warm-up bike for the first half in the locker room. Does she, like, come out at halftime? Is she suspended by just being sat on the bench? Like, at this stage, suspend her for half a game. At this stage, just bench her for the season. Bench her for the rest of the season. Like, there's two.
Still, the show went on. At halftime, Angel Reese paraded around with her brace like it was a designer accessory, never warming up, never blending in with the team, just making sure the world saw the walking billboard of rebellion. By then, it didn't even resemble a sports injury anymore. It looked like a full-blown pro wrestling storyline, missing only the entrance music and a steel chair. To make it even wilder, her coach's pre-game comments suggested she was absolutely going to play. talking about keeping her warm, using heating pads, staying loose. It was all framed as if she'd be hitting the court. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, the back injury pulled her out. Nothing to see here. The 180 was so sharp it could give you whiplash, which, ironically, might have been the only real injury that night. That's when it became clear the situation had spun completely off the rails.
Things are getting worse in Chicago, man. Way before it's getting better, I tell you. All right, so the game happened last night. And basically, if y'all remember, Angel Reese was suspended for half of that Aces game last night, right? So she sits out the half of the game, and then coming into the next half, she's ruled out injured with a back injury. Oh, man. Man, it's just tick for tat at this point, man. It is crazy what's going on in Chicago.
Normally, when a star player pulls the injury card, their supporters rush to defend them with essays longer than the Declaration of Independence, insisting it's real, it's valid, and everyone else needs to back off. But this time, silence, or worse, sarcastic applause. Even Angel Reese's biggest defenders looked like parents catching their kid fake a fever with a thermometer under hot water. You can't even be mad. You just shake your head and mutter, "Nice try." Because the truth is, everyone saw the brace stunt, everyone noticed the perfectly timed injury, and everyone recognized the performance. Fans aren't dumb. They know when they're being sold something that doesn't add up. Reese wasn't limping, wincing, or struggling. She was strutting, flaunting that brace like it was a Gucci belt. At that point, it wasn't a medical device. It was a costume. Like fighting a war while your general shows up in a Halloween outfit. And this isn't just Angel versus her teammates anymore. It's Angel versus the entire Chicago Sky organization.
What day? So what day? They suspended her for half the game. Why they just suspended the whole game at that point? Why are you gonna suspend somebody half a game? How you even gonna play after getting suspended half a game? You gonna miss the first half and then you ain't gonna have no flow for the game. Am I tripping? You're just not gonna have no flow for the game. If you miss the first half of the game, and then all of a sudden you can get subbed in for the second half of the game, why not just suspend her the whole game? That's just what the organization decided to do.
Because let's be honest, this wasn't just an "oops, my back hurts" moment. It was rebellion, a protest, a middle finger wrapped in a brace. The message was clear. You suspended me? Fine. Watch me suspend myself. She didn't simply refuse to play. She staged the whole production so everyone knew exactly what was happening. And the irony is that the Chicago Sky aren't blameless in this circus. This is the same franchise that suspended her to begin with, the same one that left her hanging when she called out the front office, and the same one that's allowed her reputation to crumble piece by piece. If they were truly protecting her, they would have stepped in months ago, but they didn't. They let her sink. And now we're supposed to believe they're spinning the back injury excuse to shield her? Please. If they wouldn't cover for her when the headlines were brutal, why suddenly play savior now? The Sky quietly suspended her and let the narrative spiral. And at this point, it feels less like a team-player relationship and more like a toxic marriage where both sides are just waiting for the other to finally pack their bags.
She's sitting out the first half due to the suspension. Logistically, how does a player who normally starts the game kind of stay warm and go into the second half?
Starts with your warm-up, and then obviously after your warm-up, it's a pretty long stretch that you're sitting. So whether it's heating pads, whether it's being on the bike and staying active from that standpoint, I think different players operate differently. So we'll trust in our medical staff to be able to.
That clip was Tyler Marsh before the game last night, where the Chicago Bravado continued their season-long tradition of getting their ass kicked. This time, the boot to the Bravado's Bruce Caboose, it belonged to the Las Vegas Anonymous fan.
And then came the real halftime show, not the one with music and dancers, but the Angel Reese performance. She came out with the team, but not really with the team. No warm-ups, no drills, no focus. Just floating around the court with her brace on full display, making sure every camera had its shot. This wasn't about recovery, it was about optics. A back brace is supposed to provide support under clothing, but Reese wore hers over a sweatshirt, like slapping a Band-Aid on top of a winter coat. Zero function, maximum visibility, and that was the whole point. It wasn't for her back, it was for the spotlight. The whole thing played like a neon sign flashing. Look at me. I'm injured, I promise. It felt less like an injury update and more like a WWE promo, with Reese cast as the villain strutting down the ramp, feeding off the boos and cheers, selling the character. But the problem is, theatrics don't win games. While she was parading her rebellion, the Chicago Sky were falling apart, scraping together just 25 points with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. 25 points in professional basketball. That's not just bad. That's historically tragic.
Head coach Tyler Marsh, who I have a lot of sympathy for, and I'm being dead serious when I say that. Tyler Marsh has one of the most difficult jobs in the country. As the head coach of the Chicago Bravado, he has got to deal with the constant drama of Angel Reese. And it's not just Angel Reese that he has to deal with. This poor dude. He also has to deal with her dozens of aliases. Me Bound Barbie, Bayou Barbie, Can't Afford My Apartment in Chi-Town Barbie, and her most recent personality, Blame.
Angel Reese sitting out didn't come across as a bold statement. It looked like she abandoned a sinking ship. She didn't go down swinging with her teammates. She grabbed the lifeboat, strapped on a questionable back brace, and waved from the distance. Fans noticed, the media noticed, and her teammates definitely noticed, because quitting once can be forgiven, but quitting twice in back-to-back seasons is a reputation killer. That's the gamble Reese is playing, thinking she's sticking it to the organization, when from the outside it just looks like she doesn't want to fight when the waters get rough. The irony is that the Sky probably don't care anymore. They've shown it through the suspension, their silence in defending her, and the way they've let this whole back injury narrative run unchecked. At this point, both sides seem locked in a petty contest to see who can embarrass the other more before the breakup is finalized. And honestly, it's almost funny, because what we're watching isn't basketball. It's a full-blown soap opera. A fake-looking back injury, a suspension, a halftime parade, a team that clearly doesn't want her, and a fan base too tired to defend her anymore. It's chaos wrapped in sarcasm, tied with a bow of irony. And somehow, you still can't look away.
Or the back brace during the shoot-around, right? So it kind of already looked like she was planning not to play in this game. And it kind of brings the question, like, since she sat out the game, like, or was ruled injured, did she serve the suspension? I don't know. It's kind of weird. You can tell it's just some turmoil going on in Chicago right now. And it kind of brings up the question, like, what is going to happen with Angel Reese at this point? I think she's done playing. I think she's done playing this season, honestly. And granted, you know, they asked Tyler Marsh, well, how do you feel about, you know, bringing Angel Reese back for the remainder of this season? He was stating like, yeah, she's coming back. Well, she wants to get out there. So we're going to, you know, play it.
Because that's the thing with Angel Reese. Whether you love her or hate her, you're watching, and she makes sure of it. This latest rebellion, fake back injury and all, might be her boldest performance yet. At this point, her injury isn't about sports medicine, it's performance art. Like she's auditioning for the role of a diva who outsmarted her own team in some off-Broadway drama. The Sky's doctors are left squinting at MRI scans like they're staring at abstract art, searching for damage that isn't there. And the wild part? The stunt might actually be working. By pretending to be fragile, she's managed to flip the Sky into the exact circus she wanted. If you thought this was just about basketball, think again. This is rebellion dressed as medical theater, and Reese is playing the part like a pro.